Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Rolf. How are you?
Baruch Hashem, and you, Louis.
All right, thank you. All right. Rolf, are we doing the Haggadah or?
No, we'll do Haggadah, but first we do Rosh Chodesh Nissan.
Yeah.
We'll speak about Rosh Chodesh Nissan, and then we'll do the Haggadah, please, God.
Right.
Yeah. Do the Haggadah, but first we'll do Rosh Chodesh Nissan to explain the importance of Rosh Chodesh Nissan, and then we'll continue, please, God, with the Haggadah, and we'll try to see how far we can get to go with Rosh Chodesh Nissan. Is everyone well? Who's else with us? It's you, it's Gabriel. Who else with us? Adrian, who else?
Is Mark not joining in?
Sorry?
Mark, is he not coming through?
Mark will join later. It's just that they have a program about his wife, grandfather. So
Right.
they sing at the Zoom with the granddaughter. Very, very interesting, what I understand from the wife. So they might
Mhm.
want to join later. Depends how quick the thing gonna end up. So we'll wait another minutes and then we'll start the shiur. About, first of all, we'll explain the month of Nissan and we'll see how far we can go. Let's just give other people a chance to join us and then we'll go. I don't know who's with us. You, I can see Adrian. I can see Gabriel, and there's another one. I don't know who's the other one. Who's with us? Who else with us? No comment. Okay. What are we gonna do? Louis, everyone is mute at the moment. So as more people come, I will admit them. And then if there is noise, I will mute everyone. And then you unmute yourself if you see that I mute you. Okay. Yeah, Stephen, join us. Stephen.
Rabbi Levy,
Yes.
can we add to the name for someone who needs a refuah shlema?
Sure.
Moshe Bas Devora, Acha Ben Devora.
Moshe Ben Devora. Funny enough, I have the name Moshe Ben Devora in Israel. That's the son of my rabbi.
This man is a rabbi. This man is a rabbi also.
Is he in Israel?
He is in Israel.
Yeah. Okay. So, בעזרת השם נעשה ונצליח, והשם עלינו ברחמיו ירוויח. We're going to start the shiur. השיעור יהיה לעילוי נשמת אסתר כדן בת קציה, מרדכי בן רחמה, הרב
I've just joined in. I think he's having a problem.
See that there is a lot of noise. I'm going to mute everyone. Yeah, everyone is muted. Now I can continue. Tamar bat Zeava, Rachel bat Malka Sultana, Rivka Leah bat David, Esther bat Moshe HaLevi, Haim Kalman ben Haim Kalman, ומרסל בת שמחה. נשמתם תהיה צרורה בצור החיים, ולרפואת ליאור בת מרים, מנשה נג'י בן פרחה, אורנה בלומה בת מרים, הרב אברהם חיים בן מרינה, הרב שלמה יהודה בן דליה, משה בן דבורה, דבורה בת אסתר, אביבה בתיה בת שינה קיילה, משה מאיר בן חנה, חנה שרה בת דבורה, שלמה פנחס בן שינה פישה, מרדכי דוד בן לאה, שהקדוש ברוך הוא ישלח להם רפואה שלמה. Please God, הקדוש ברוך הוא will send them speedily recover to them and all the Jewish people all over the world. Okay, so let's start the beginning of the shiur. We're going to speak about the months of Nissan. We all know that the days of the months of Nissan, that means the entire months of Nissan, we're not allowed to say Tahanun. People don't say Tahanun. Not only that, we're not allowed to do fasting. That means we learn from here that the months of Nissan have a special value. It's a very special month. Why? Because the entire month we don't say Tahanun. So on the pshat of the Dvarim, Hazal and Gemara explained to us that on the second years that Bnei Israel, after they left, Egypt, okay, and the Aleph ben Nissan, in the first of Nissan, they inaugurated the tabernacle. Okay, what's happened then? Then every member, every prince of every tribe, every day brought his own sacrifices. And we know that we have 12 tribes. That means for 12 days, they used to bring sacrifices. On the 13th day, that was Yud Gimel Nissan, the 13th of Nissan, it was Isur Hag. That means that all the tribes together, it was a special day for them, and they all brought a special korban. On the 14th of Nissan, on the 14th day of the month, that was Erev Pesach. Erev Pesach. Obviously, we don't say Tahanun because it's the festival of Pesach. And then plus add up another 7 days. 7 days of what? The 7 days of Pesach. Together, it will lead us to 22 of the day of the month of Nisan. That means that 22 days from the month of Nisan, okay, already, they didn't say Tahanun. Therefore, came Hazal and constitute for us, if most of the months never been say Tahanun, that means that you shouldn't say Tahanun on that month, and that's what happened. We don't say Tahanun. Hashalah Kadosh, the Shalah Kadosh, his name is Rabbi Yoshua Levy Horowitz. He born in the in a city of Prague in the Czech Republic. He born 464 years ago. And he explained what it says in Parashat Bo, in Sefer Shmot, in chapter 12, in verse 2, the verse that speak about that month. החודש הזה לכם ראש חודשים, ראשון הוא לחודשי השנה. The Shalah Kadosh explained what it means, החודש הזה לכם ראש חודשים. That means the first month of all the months, that's Nisan, as Hazal explained to us, saying, Hashalah Kadosh. But he come to tell you that the month of Nisan, okay, every day of that month is like a Rosh Chodesh. The holiness of every day of Nisan is like a Rosh Chodesh, and therefore we don't say Tahanun. Not only that we don't say Tahanun, we don't fast. Okay? And mit'anim bo. Not only that, he continued and said, where do you learn that? He said that it says, Rosh Chodashim. What it means, Rosh Chodashim? It's the head of all the months, but it means that head that every day by himself is a Rosh Chodesh. Okay? Another explanation that people bring, we know that the month of Nisan called, okay, Chodesh Aviv. Aviv, you spell Aleph, Bet, Yud Bet. That means that if you take the letters Aviv and you split it to two, you'll get something very interesting. What will you get? You take the word Aviv and you split it, you get Av, you'll get Av, Yud Bet. Father for 12. 12 months, the father of what? The father of the 12th month. That means the month of Nisan is the father to all the months. For us to understand, lehavdil, January is the first month of the year for, in what do you call it? In a normal calendar, okay, not the Jewish calendar, the Gregorian calendar. But for us, the first month, which one is that? It's Nisan. Okay. Yeah. What's happened? Now we have to ask ourselves a very valid question. The Zohar HaKadosh asked a very valid question. He asked, I don't understand why all the 12 tribes that's mean the prince of every tribe, why didn't bring a korban on the same day? All of them in Aleph of Nissan on the same day that they inaugurate the Mishkan. Sorry, my throat was very dry. So that's the question of the Zohar HaKadosh. And the Zohar HaKadosh explained something important. What did he explain? He explained like this. He says like this. He says that if you look carefully at Sefer Bereshit, in Sefer Bereshit, in Parashat Hayeh Sarah, in the end, towards the end, the Torah tells us that, a matter of fact, that Ishmael, he tells us all his 12 prince that he have. That means 12 prince that join his dynasty. Okay? Said the Zohar HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Bnei Israel that member of each tribe, that means the prince of each tribe, will be in a korban for one day. And we know that the korban doing kapara, atonement. He said in the merit of that, HaKadosh Baruch Hu command the Jewish people to bring a korban every day for a different tribe. Why? To weaken the evil forces of Ishmael. That means the main reason behind that every day, from the beginning of months of Nissan, okay, from the beginning of the months of Nissan until Yud Bet Nissan, the 12th of Nissan, every day different prince of the tribe brought, according to the Zohar. Now I'm speaking to you what we call it sod, the secret, okay, that hiding, that every tribe have a special korban to weaken the evil forces that there is for myself, from the 12 presidents that he have, presidents. That's mean that behind that hiding, that we keep weakening all the evil forces on that month. Why? By that we brought the korbanot, that doing atonement. And if we do an atonement, okay, we all 100% kosher, and we weaken the force of the evil forces. Okay. Also, another thing that it say that many of us have to understand, why is this month called the month of Nissan, Dafka Nissan? So Hazal in a Gemara in Masechet Berachot in page 56, folio 1, explain like this, that the main reason that it's called Nissan, שנעשו בו ניסים לישראל. That means miracle happen to the Jewish people. Okay, that's Hazal. Look what Rashi say. Rashi took Rashi in a Gemara that commentates the Gemara in page 57, folio 1. Look what Rashi said. Bechol milah, in every word, sheyesh ba shne otiyot nun, that means every word that the letters nun appear, like Nissan, it's in the beginning nun, and in the end nun, melamed otanu, it's come to teach us, Nisim, that means that in the month of Nisan, many miracles happen to the Jewish people. Hazal in the Gemara in Masechet Shabbat, listen what they say, and in the end, we'll see how we're going to answer Rashi, and we'll explain Rashi. In Hazal in the Gemara in Masechet Shabbat, in page 97, folio 1, Hazal explained that every word that there is the letters nun twice, come to teach you something else. That is miracle inside a miracle. That's miracle inside another miracle. Okay, we'll see now. So we have to understand which miracle. So we know that Bnei Israel, in the time that they was ready to leave Egypt, what happened? In the 10th of Nisan, HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu, tell the Jewish people to take Sele Bet Avot, take a lamb, and tie it to your bed for 4 days, until the 14th of Nisan. And then On the 14, you take that lamb, you shecht it, okay? After you shecht it, you put it on a spit. And when you eat it, you eat it full. Aitzem lo tishbor bo. That means you're not allowed to break the bond. What does it mean? That means that number one of the miracle was that the Jewish people take the lamb. The lamb was the god of the Egyptian that they used to worship. And they tied to the bed. The Egyptians see that the Jewish people speak, giving him, and he tied them to the bed. And with that they tied to the bed, they couldn't do nothing. Not only that, the Kadosh Baruch Hu given him another mitzvah, shech them, shech the lamb. And then the Egyptian asked the Jewish people, why are you tying it to the lamb to the bed? They say, because in 4 days we're going to shecht it to eat it. The Egyptian couldn't do nothing. What's happened on the 15th of Nissan, what's happened? It was the Exodus. HaKadosh Baruch Hu here threw miracle inside a miracle. Number one, that the Egyptian didn't say nothing, didn't attack the Jewish people, that they took the god and tied to the bed. Number two, that they shechted it. Number three, listen to that, what the Zohar says. The Zohar says something incredible happened. After they finished to eat, the mitzvah from the Torah is Aitzem lo tishbor bo. You're not allowed to break the bone of that lamb. So what they used to do, after they eat it, they took the bone of the lamb, that it's full, the lamb, they put it on the floor, they throw it on the floor. Came the dogs, and they start dragging it all over the street of Egypt. That means that here HaKadosh Baruch Hu show another miracle. Not only that the God is gurnish mit gurnish, he also embarrassed it, he degraded it. And by who? By the worst animal that the Egyptian used to hate. What is it? It's the dog. That means that the dog used to drag their God and they couldn't do nothing. The Avodah Zarah that they used to worship. That's what was so special. We know that many other miracles happened in the months of Nissan. After that, we know that it was the splitting of the sea. And now we're going to explain what Rashi said. Many miracles happen, okay? But then the Gemara in Masechet Shabbat say, Nes betoch nes, miracle inside a miracle. Listen to that. Like we explained, the miracle was, number one, that many miracles happen with the lamb. But not only that, on the 15th of Nissan, that the moon is full, because the Egyptian used to worship that month, because the star sign of Nissan is Taleh, a lamb. HaKadosh Baruch Hu take the Jewish people out from Mitzrayim to show the entire Egyptian that was idol worshippers, that the God, not only that it's gurnish mit gurnish, now it's in favor of the Jewish people. HaKadosh Baruch Hu turned that month, that they was thinking that it's good for them, for the benefit of us. Then come the splitting of the sea, like we mentioned. In a splitting of the sea was many miracles. HaKadosh Baruch Hu split the sea to 12 walkways, that every tribe walk. When Bnei Israel walk on the sand of the sea, it was dry. But when the Egyptian enter the ground of the sea, it was wet. Miracle inside a miracle. Not only that, when the Jewish people crossed the sea, the water was standing like 2 pillars of wall. When the Egyptian entered, those walls collapsed. Miracle inside a miracle. For the Jewish people, the ground was wet, dry. For the Egyptian, it's wet. Miracle inside miracle. Not only that, when the Jewish people now came on the other side of this, the sea of wheat, that means they're going in circle from where they start. What did they saw? All the gold, all the jewelry, all the treasure of Egypt on a seabed. They collected. HaKadosh Baruch Hu showed a miracle inside miracle. And now listen what it says. The prophet Micha say in chapter 7, verse 15. The prophet Micha said that the same thing that's going to happen to the Jewish people, okay, will happen to Bnei Israel when HaKadosh Baruch Hu going to finally redeem us. Say the Rabbeinu Behaye, that I'm speaking is Rabbeinu Behaye ben Asher. He born in the city of Saragossa in Spain. He born around 766 years ago. In his book Kada Kemah. What it means, Kada Kemah? The jar of flour. That's what he called his book. Beautiful book. Rabbeinu Behaye ben Asher explained that for the future days to come when when HaKadosh Baruch Hu going to send the Mashiach and he going to redeem us, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will make the same miracle that he done to Bnei Israel in Egypt. The only difference is going to be 50 times more miracle. Do we understand what we're saying? 50 times more miracle that we don't understand what's going to happen. That's what's so special about the months of Nissan, because Hazal tell us in a Gemara in Masechet Rosh Hashanah, Hazal tell us in a Gemara in Masechet Rosh Hashanah in page 11, folio 2. Listen what Hazal say. Benisan Nigalu. That means in the months of Nisan, HaKadosh Baruch Hu done the first redemption. That means he redeemed our forefathers, or our fathers, sorry, not forefathers. He redeemed our fathers from Egypt. Benisan Nigalu. Benisan Atidim Leigael. What does it mean? In the months of Nisan, Bnei Israel, for the days to come, they have a good chance that HaKadosh Baruch Hu going to redeem us. Please God, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu going to redeem us this year in this months of Nisan. Taf, Shin, Pei, Aleph, 2021, Ba'ezrat Hashem. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will redeem us this year in Hag HaPesach. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to the Agada. In the Agada, we stopped and we spoke about Manishtana Laila. And we explained why did we say Manishtana Laila. Just briefly, we brought the Zohar HaKadosh that explained that at that night, all the gates in heaven are open. And whatever people ask, if they know how to ask and they have the strength to waken up HaKadosh Baruch Hu, they will get all their wishes. Then the Haggadah continuing say, listen what it says there. It says something very interesting. Here the Hazal tell us like this: Maaseh beRabbi Eliezer veRabbi Yeshua veRabbi Elazar ben Azariah veRabbi Akiva veRabbi Tarfon shehayu mesubim bebnei Brak. Okay? והיו מספרים ביציאת מצרים כל אותו לילה, עד שבאו תלמידיהם ואמרו להם, רבותינו, הגיע זמן קריאת שמע של שחרית. לואי, בכבוד.
No, I'm just looking for the place.
I tell you, it happened that Rabbi Elazar and Rabbi Yeshua and Rabbi
yes.
Elazar ben Azariah.
Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Yoshua, Rabbi Elazar ben Azar, Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Tofon were reclining at the Seder in Bnei Brak. They discussed the Exodus all that night until his students came and said to them, "Oh, our teachers, it is daybreak, time for the reading of the morning Shema."
Okay, on the pshat of the Dvarim, if someone read it, you'll see that Hazal or Hillel explained to us that those 5 sages was in Bnei Brak. They were celebrating the Seder. They were speaking about the Exodus. They was praising HaKadosh Baruch Hu and telling the story of the Exodus until they forgot, okay, that it's time to say the Shema of Shacharit. That's on a pshat of the Dvarim. But it's not so simple, Rabotai. We have to understand what's hiding behind it. First of all, the first question that all of you have to ask, what difference does it make to me? Which city is it? What difference does it make if it's Bnei Brak? By the way, the Bnei Brak that Hazal is speaking, it's not the Bnei Brak of today, just to give you a bit of history. What difference does it make to me which city? Second question that you have to ask, okay, wait a minute. Why, Dafka, you tell me Bnei Brak? What is it so important, the name Bnei Brak? Second question. Third question, it's come and tell us that the student coming and telling the sages that it's time to say Kriyat Shema, to say the Shema. Well, the sages doesn't know. Okay, let's see. Be'ezrat Hashem, na'aseh v'natzliach. So, first of all, why is it said Bnei Brak? It's come to teach us here halacha, Rabotai. Hazal tell us that if a student sitting with his rabbi for the Seder is not allowed to lean to his left until his rabbi given him a permission. So Hazal come to teach us here important message. Here we see that we know that Rabbi Akiva, who was his rabbi? Rabbi Elazar HaGadol and Rabbi Tarfon, the two rabbi of Rabbi Akiva. Shehayu mesubim bebnei Brak. What it means mesubim? They was leaning to the left. Immediately the question comes, how is Rabbi Akiva can lean to his left while his rabbi is there? From here we learn halacha. We know that Rabbi Akiva was the rabbi of Bnei Brak, Marad Atra, the chief rabbi of Bnei Brak, of the city of Bnei Brak. And Hazal teach us from here a lesson, important lesson, that if you're the chief rabbi of the city, you don't have to ask a permission from your rabbi to lean to the left if they're coming to visit you. That's the halacha that we learn. We're going to do what we call it pshat raz, pshat, remes, drash, sod, the pardes with the agada. I've never done it with you before. Then I'm going to do it. Another explanation that Hazal explained, why is it mentioned that all the sages were sitting together? It said that they asked the student, and that can answer us about Kriyat Shema. They asked the student, it said that Sha'arei Shamayim Ptuchim, the entire heaven is open, all the gates in heaven is open. All the heaven's gates are open. They asked the Talmidim, how can we bring Mashiach now? What can we do? Which kind of act we can do that we can bring the Mashiach? The Talmidim answered them, Kriyat Shema. Higia Azman Kriyat Shema. What does it mean? If we say Kriyat Shema bekavana, and we'll have the thought, Hashem Elokenu, that means our God, Shema Israel, listen Israel, Hashem Elokenu, our God. Okay, Israel, listen. Your God is one. Hashem Echad. What does it mean Hashem Echad? There's only one God, no other God. Hashem Elokenu, Hashem Echad. But if you say it with kavana, and that's the major key, and we're willing to give, to die for the sake of heaven, immediately HaKadosh Baruch Hu will redeem us. So we learn here another thing. Why did they say Kriyat Shema? But we have to understand, for the second question, the one I said, what difference is it that Hazal have to tell me Dafka Bnei Brak? What is so important, the word Bnei Brak? The Gaon Hida, Rabbi Chaim Yosef David Adonai, he born 297 years ago in the city of Jerusalem. In his book, he wrote a few books. It's called the book Simchat HaRegel. What does it mean, Simchat HaRegel? The happiness to go and do 3 פעמים בשנה יראה זרועך את פני האדון. That means 3 times a year you have to go and do Aliyah LaRegel. Go and visit HaKadosh Baruch Hu on Jerusalem. When? On on a festival. That's what he called it, Simchat HaRegel. And he explained now, listen what he's doing. He said, take the word Bnei Brak. The gematria of the word Bnei Brak, he said the gematria of it, 364. Okay, 364. What's the hidush? He said, take the word Hasatan with hey, the Satan. The gematria is 364. The sages gathered together, Dafka, in a city of Bnei Brak. What to do? That they wanted Dafka and Bnei Brak in the merit of Leila Seder that night to cancel the Satan. That will not going to be any evil inclination. Where did they want to do it? In Bnei Brak. Another explanation that the Hiskuni bring. Who was the Hiskuni? The Hiskuni was Rabbi Hiskiah ben Manoah. He born around 769 years ago in France. And he's explained, you know why the sages gathered together on that night so much together? All the 5 sages? Because we explained that that night, as the Zohar explained, the heavens gate are open. He said, where do you learn that? Say Rabbi Hiskiah ben Manoah, something extraordinary. Listen what he said. He said, when Yitzhak Avinu, our father, asked his son, Esav, go bring me 2 goats, shne se'erim, and make for me a meal. And then, in the merit of that, I can bless you. Hazal says, since when Avraham Avinu really care about food? Since when Avraham Avinu really care about a braai? Say, the Zohar HaKadosh explained, he bring in the word of the Zohar. The Zohar said that that night, Tedvav Nissan, the 15th of Nissan, Yitzhak Avinu saw in Ruach HaKodesh that all the heavens gate are open. And if all the heavens gate are open, say, whatever I say, whatever blessing I'll give you, Esav, you will get. Rivka imenu saw it in Ruach HaKodesh. She knew. She said, that wicked son not going to get it. I'm going to call Yaakov, Ishtam Yoshevu Alim. Okay, and we know the story, got the brocha. But what's happened? Yitzhak Avinu told Esav that night. What mean that night? The 15th of Nisan, it's a special night. That's all the heavens gate open. If you said the right, if you praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu beautifully on the 15th of Nisan, whatever you are at night, there's a good chance that your wish will be granted. Not only that, Hazal says something extraordinary. Listen to that. Hazal say in Leila Seder, Rabotai, focus with that and keep it for Leila Seder. Hazal say, Leila Seder is a special night. We know that everything granted, everything, all your wishes can be. He say that HaKadosh Baruch Hu tell, the Zohar say, Lekol Pamalia Shel Ma'ala. What it mean, Pamalia Shel Ma'ala? To all the angel in heaven. Shush, I don't want to hear you. Tonight is the 15th of Nisan. Is Leila Seder. In Leila Seder, my children down in earth speaking. They praising me, they singing. And that's the secret. If we'll praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu, if we tell the story of the Haggadah with full kavana, and we praise the Almighty and sing to the Almighty, there's a good chance that all our wishes will be granted. And that's why it's so important that on Leila Seder, Hazal tell us that the kids, the little one, the Lameki, they should sing. Let them talk. Pesach is pe, mouth, Sah. The mouse is talking. Who should talk? The Maran Shulchan Aruch say, who should talk? A person should tell the story of the Exodus to his kids. If he doesn't have kids and newly married, he must tell it to his wife. If he is a bachelor and he lived by himself, he must ask the question, "Ma nishtana elayla hazeh?" He must talk. But what he must talk? Talk, that we can hear. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants each one of us. He wants to hear each one of us. That's the special of Tedvav Nissan. And that's what it said. Now I'm going to go back. Maaseh berabbi Elazar berabbi Yoshua. ורבי אלעזר בן עזריה ורבי עקיבא ורבי טרפון שהיו מסובים בבני ברק. And listen what it says, והיו מספרים ביציאת מצרים. And they used to tell the story of the Exodus. What does it mean, tell the story? They didn't stop praising. The sages themselves, beside all the secret that we explained, the gematria that we explained, they praised the Almighty. What does it mean, praise the Almighty? They talk about that night. That night is all about talking, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu tell everyone in heaven, shush. Now, my children on earth, that's daytime. Once a year, I want to hear them. I want to be with them. And later on, if we continue straight after that, we see something very interesting. Look what the Agada say. אמר רבי אלעזר בן עזריה, הרי אני כבן 70 שנה, ולא זכיתי שתאמר יציאת מצרים בלילות. בכבוד, לואי.
Sorry, Rolf, I was on mute. Rabbi Eliezer ben Azariah said, I am like a 70-year-old man, but I could not succeed in having the Exodus from Egypt mentioned every night until Ben Zomar impounded, in order that you may remember the day you left Egypt, all the days of your life. In Deuteronomy, the phrases, the days of your life, would have indicated only on the days, and additional to the word all, includes the nights as well. But the sages declared that the days of your life would mean only the present world, in addition to of all included the era of the Mashiach.
Okay, here we see something very interesting. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah say, I'm like 70. Many of the Mefarshim say, what do you mean like 70? Wait, Rabbi Elazar doesn't know his age? What's happening here? We have to understand what's happening here for us to understand the story of the Exodus. So Be'ezrat Hashem, when you sit on Pesach night, you can explain to your family what's happened. Hazal in the Gemara in Masechet Brachot, in page 27, folio 2. 27, folio 2, Gemara Masechet Brachot. Explain to us what's happening. Hazal tell us, when the sages decide that going to remove Rabban Gamliel from his president. Rabban Gamliel was the president. He done something. It's not the time now to go through because he was very harsh. Hazal say, let's move him from his position. Let's choose another Nasi. Nasi is a president. It's above Av Beddin. They decide and they look, they put the eyes on Elazar ben Azariah. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. Okay. What is the story here? Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah was 18 years old. That's all. 18 years old. And what's happened? And according to the Pshat of Darim, a miracle happened to him. And in his beard, he grew white hair. That means few lines, the hair turned a bit gray. Why? Because it's not nice, Hazal explained according to the Pshat of the Dvarim, that the youngster gonna be the Nasi. It's not nice, like you say, Rabbi Yehuda Nasi. You have to be a bit mature, a bit old. But Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah was a young, 18 years old. So what did they say? They say like this. They say HaKadosh Baruch Hu made a miracle for him, and he grew a gray beard. The Rambam, look the Rambam, the great eagle, Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon, the great eagle, he born in the city of Cordova in Spain, 888 years ago. Listen what he said. 888 years ago, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, okay. He explained, you know what's happened? That Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah suddenly have a gray beard, that he was 18. He said that he was so busy studying, and he was focusing on his studying until his body becomes so weak that he cannot take it anymore, that his body becomes so weak that he aged. Ari HaKadosh, Rabbi Yitzhak Luri Ashkenazi, born in Jerusalem around 487 years ago, he explained like this. He explained it according to Torah Gilgul. What it means, Torah Gilgul? The reincarnation. Listen what he explained. Say Ari HaKadosh, you know who was Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah? He was a reincarnation of Shmuel HaNavi, Shmuel HaRamati, call him, Shmuel HaNavi, the prophet Samuel. He said the prophet Samuel died at the age of 56. Listen to that, Rabotai. 52, sorry, in the age of 52. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah was 18. Add up the age together, 70. It's come to tell you, he said that the reincarnation of them was, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah was a reincarnation of who? Of the prophet Samuel, Shmuel HaNavi. Now we can understand, הרי אני כבן 70 שנה, why דווקא 70? Let's continue. The Kolbo is a commentary. I tried to look for him. I can't find who's the Kolbo. I'm battling. I'm going to find it, Be'ezrat Hashem. And he said, you know why has it happened for him, the gray hair? HaKadosh Baruch Hu made the miracle. He made that special miracle that the people of the Jewish people will listen to him, that will respect him. Because if they see a young president that have dark black hair, a black beard, he's a young one, what does he know? But when you see a person with white, gray hair, you listen. And I'll tell you a story. Many years ago, I have a friend, actually two friends, make a joke of me because all the time my beard was always here was very white, but now become more gray. And one day for my birthday, they took me out and they bought me a shoe polish. They said to me, you should polish your beard. They make a joke. Anyway, that was a joke. Anyway, funny enough, I was sitting and we was joking. I gone home and I was listening to a show. And the show was speaking about that idea. And suddenly I hear the guy speaking, what does it mean to have a gray beard, especially here? He said that when you see a person with, it's not for me. That's definitely not me. But they say if you see a person with a gray beard, you know that he's full of wisdom. HaKadosh Baruch Hu give him a wisdom, especially if he's young. So I was laughing. They wanted to give me a polish to make my beard black. Anyway, I didn't tell them that. I hope that they're listening. If they're on the line, I don't know if they do. Anyway, let's continue. Then it says, Hacham ma'u omer. Now we're speaking about the fourth son, and listen what it says. Hacham ma'u omer. And then it says, Rasha ma'u omer. Tam ma'u omer. V'she'eno yodea lishmor ata pitach lo. Immediately all the mefarshim say, whoa, what's happening here? What is Why it didn't say, the Haggadah doesn't say, Hacham Omer? Okay? Why is the Haggadah have to tell us that the wise son, what is he used to say? Why it doesn't say the wise man say? No, the same with the wicked. Why is the Haggadah, the Hillel that wrote the Haggadah wrote, Mahu Omer? What is he used to say? Okay, Louis Bechavod.
Blessed is the omnipresent, blessed is he. He blessed is the one who has given the Torah to his people, Israel. Blessed is he concerning 4 sons does the Torah speak, a wise one, a wicked one, a simple one, and one who is unable to ask.
Okay, so here we see, why does it say, why is he say? Okay, so the Mefarshim explain, from here, the Hillel come to teach us, the Mefarshim explain, come to teach us something very important. When you want to know who's the person in the front of you, if that person that in the front of you have Yirat Shamayim, is he clever person? Is he good person? See what is he talking about. What does it mean? He said like this. The Mefarshim explain, if you see a person that you're sitting and you're speaking to him and he prays rabbis, he said, that rabbi is, oh, such a tzaddik. This rabbi I met, what a great rabbi, what a wisdom. You know that person loves rabbis and you have the fear of heaven. But from the other way, if you have a friend that when you sit with him and all day speak to you about sport, speak to you about rugby, cricket, soccer, whatever, you know what he have in mind? Sport. He say, when it say Hacham Ma'u Omer, if you want to know who's a wise man, listen what he say. If you want to know who's a wicked person, listen to what he prays. Is he praise wicked people? You know that he's wicked. If he praise sages, he's a wise man. According to what a person prays, that's what he like. That's his personality. And that's what it means, Hacham Ma'u Omer. Now we can understand. Let's move on. After that, we see something very interesting. After the 4 sons, immediately the Torah says, Mitchila Ovdei Avodah Zara Ayu Avotenu. Originally, our ancestor was idol worshiper. Okay, Louis?
All right. The wise son, what does he say? What is the testimonies, the decrees and orders? No, wait.
Louis,
Yeah.
Would you mind just reading? Originally, our ancestor was idol worshippers. If you move to page 30 in the Haggadah of the ArtScroll.
Okay. Originally, our ancestors were idol worshippers, but now the Omnipresent has brought us near to his service, as it's written. Joshua said to all the people, so says Hashem, God of Israel, your father always lived beyond the Euphrates River. Terach, the father of Abraham and Noah, and they served other gods. Then I took your father Abraham from beyond the river and led him through all the land of Canaan. I multiplied his offspring and gave him Isaac. To Isaac I gave Jacob and Esau. To Esau I gave Mount Seir to inherit, but Jacob and his children went down to Egypt.
Beautiful. We see here, Chazal in the Gemara in Masechet Pesachim and page 116, folio 1. Listen what they say. Chazal say, Haggadah matchila begnut. That means that the Haggadah, if you look, starting here with derogatory. And what does it end? With a praise. And immediately the Mefarshim say, how can you speak like this about our forefathers? Listen what the Mefarshim explain. It was amazing. And that commentary that I'm going to bring, it was from Rabbi Yehezkel Levinstein. Rabbi Yehezkel Levinstein, he born in Poland, yes, in Warsaw, yeah. He born around 142 years ago. He was the mashgiach of the Ponovich Yeshiva, okay? And he says, sorry, that's 130. Let me just confirm the age, because I think that I mistake when he born. See? 136 years ago. He born, Rabbi Haskell Levinstein, born in Warsaw, 136 years ago. Yes, 136 years ago. He was the mashgiach of Yeshivat Ponovich, the mashgiach of the Ponovich Yeshiva. And he explained what Hazal tried to tell us. Hazal tell us that the Agada start with derogatory, that from the beginning our ancestor was idol worshippers. Who are they referring to? To Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu, he bought in a house of Terah. He was idol worshipper. A matter of fact, he was the great China of that time. He used to manufacture idols, Terah. And Avraham Avinu born to him. He was his son. And Avraham Avinu, the Midrash tell us at the beginning, used to be an idol worshipper. What happened? Avraham Avinu saw the sun. He started worshiping the sun. When the night came, he saw that suddenly it's night and there's moon. He stopped worshiping the moon and the star, because he said, obviously the moon and the star are stronger than the sun. In that case, I should worship them. The following day, in the morning, the sun came again. He couldn't understand what's happening. The Midrash Hazal tell us that Avraham Avinu, when he saw that, he said, obviously they're not God. Hazal said that Avraham Avinu, in the age of 3, shout to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and pledge and beg the HaKadosh Baruch Hu to reveal himself to him. Who you are, God, please show me a sign. Until HaKadosh Baruch Hu sent a sign to Avraham Avinu, and he started to understand that he is super, something that we can't understand, superhuman being. And who's that? He revealed that he's God, and he starts spreading it. It's come tell us, say Rabbi Levinstein, the mashgiach of Ponovich. He said like this: it's come to teach you few things. Number one, that the person understand, even if you make mistake, only for mistake. Avraham Avinu, you know what was Avraham Avinu? Avraham Avinu was our forefather. Avraham Avinu was the one that Avi Ha'umah, the father of the nation. Why is it called Avraham Ivri? Shehu, because him himself, Avraham Avinu himself was the father of everyone. Not only that, Avraham Avinu, when he realized that he made mistake, he started worshiping Baruch Hu. But it's going to teach us another thing, say. Guys, please mute, because I can't focus. Whoever unmute, please. Let's make it. Please mute. Say, Rabbi Haskell Levinstein, you learn from here something else, that they are going to come to teach us, that you must learn one thing. Even if Has v'Shalom, you done something wrong. Even if it was idol worshiper, Has v'Shalom, lo yakum v'lo yeh. You're a Jew. Never give up. There's never give up. Never lose hope. And that's what it's come to teach us. That the Jew is Jew. If he'll do tshuva, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will forgive him. That means, say, Rabbi Haskell Levinstein, he said, from here you learn what Haggadah come to teach us. On a pshat of the Dvarim, it sounds simply. Yes, it starts with the derogatory. And then it moved to praise, to Yaakov Avinu, to Yitzhak Avinu. But it's come to teach us a message here. You know what's the message, say? Rabbi Haskell Levinstein. Never lose hope. A Jew can never lose hope. That's the message. And with that, I would like to conclude. Rabotai, please God, next Sunday, we'll do another show on Haggadah. I hope that you understand a little bit. I hope that you're making notes about the Haggadah, that please God, when you're sitting with your family, you can tell all of those Hidushim that we read, Baruch Hashem. And now I'm going to give time for those of you that want to ask questions. Bechavod.
Rob, just want to thank you. What a wonderful, amazing shir.
Thank you, Dr. Lev.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
Rabbi, Nissan, when do you have Goris in the month of Nissan?
One second, Stevie. Les,
The
give us
month
the
of
news.
Nissan, then do you have Goris?
Bechavod, Dr. Les,
Yeah. Hi, Rob.
give us the news.
Baruch Hashem, you know, they've opened up the shuls again, and we go down, came back on the train in downtown Yerushalayim, and Baruch Hashem, it's getting back to life again, and people are getting into the Nissan. It's Chodesh Tov and Nissan, and you know, people like, you know, looking forward to Pesach.
Yeah, it's
We hope
Chodesh.
it won't be like last year. Last year's Pesach was very, very difficult. Very
difficult. Very, very difficult. Just remember, it's a month of very difficult last year. But Hazal say in Gemara Masechet Brachot in page 56, folio 1, I don't know if you was at the beginning, that why is it called Nissan? Ulo Nisim, that the entire of miracle. Be'ezrat Hashem, that we should all merit to see Nisim. Amen. Ken Yeh Ratzon.
Rabbi,
Yes.
Dad's birthday, my dad's Yortzeit on the 17th of Nissan. Please, could you say Kaddish for him?
Please remind me closer to the time, Be'ezrat Hashem. I will say Kaddish for him, for sure. It will be great pleasure and honor for me.
Thank you.
Okay. Stevie, you wanted to ask questions. Stephen, you wanted to ask the question? Stephen Hera?
No, Rav, not me.
No, not Stephen Kabetsnik, Stephen Hera. He want to ask me a question. I don't know where he is. Anyway, who else want to ask question? Bechavod, Rabota, if you have question, please ask. It's very important that maybe I didn't explain something properly. Please ask.
Hello?
If there is a question. Hello?
It's Anthony.
Hello, Mr. Anthony. How are you?
How are you?
Very well, thank you. Baruch Hashem. It's so nice to hear you.
Zoma is, we say Kol Yomei Chayecha refers to the night, and the Chachamim say Kol Yomei Chayecha refers to the days of Mashiach.
Levy.
Leimot HaMashiach, yes.
Which opinion do we go by?
Rabbi Levy. Rabbi Levy.
Adrian, give me 1 sec. I'm just answering one question. So, what opinion we going? It's not
Which
a matter.
opinion do we follow? Do we follow Chachamim or do we follow Ben Zoma?
So, it's two different opinions that we have to understand. Or maybe I should make a show about it next week, because if I explain it now, then those people next week not going to hear it. But lehatchila, Yamim, it's those days. What it means, Yamim, those days, that the person make mitzvot while he's still alive. You understand? Li'imot HaMashiach, that you benefit, okay? From the mitzvot that you done in this world, you benefit in the world to come. You follow? Okay? Alelot. What it means, Alelot? It's the darkness. When people passed away. Yes. You follow?
Okay, I think so, but you're going to explain it next week again, you say.
If I forget, you'll remind me.
Okay, thanks.
Pleasure. Any other question? Rabota, anyone want to ask question? It's time to ask question. No. I would like to take the opportunity to, first of all, thank you all, to wish you all a good week. Rosh Chodesh Tov Umvorach to all of you. Keep well, keep safe, look after yourself, and Be'ezrat Hashem, we'll meet on Thursday night for the Parsha She'ur. We're going to start, Be'ezrat Hashem, the new book of Sefer Vayikra. Wish you all a good night, a safe, and all the best. Once again, thank you to Louis for reading for us. Louis, Yishar Koach, thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you. And thank you for such an interesting shir.
יישר
It's a
כוח.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
the best. Good night.